Good morning. My name is Tom. Welcome to the Rustic log cabin in Northern Maine. Get yourself a cup of coffee. We're out at bush camp. Where I am today, I am at Beaver Creek deer hunting camp. Oh, you don't see a camp behind me? That's because this is the newest project that OFF GRID Woodsman is taking on this year. If you're new to the channel, this piece of property that I am sitting on, I bartered for a boat. It's 10 acres of property that I swapped even for a boat that I had. If you'd like to watch that video, just go back a couple of videos from this one and you'll see bartered for property. And I'll probably put a link to it down in the descriptions. Try to keep these kind of together as we build. What we're going to build in here is a hunting camp. Just a small one, nothing major. It's going to be 8 feet by 12 feet. Wood stove. It's just a place basically to store gear, emergency stuff like that. We're quite a ways back in here. I am located on what's called Beaver Creek, and bear hunting here should be absolutely amazing with any luck at all. And also the deer sign. I have been in here now for a little over a month, surveying it and figuring out all the property lines, stuff like that, and have come across quite a bit of wild game. So what I'm actually calling this is the grocery store. So, but why are we here today? Well, for starters, I wanted to come out here and build a campfire today. And I am going to cook up a pork steak later on. With some onions and stuff like that, and just kind of enjoy the day. Pick out a spot here for the small building, and then go from there. It's just wild wilderness. It's a chopping. But getting back to why start this project? Well, as you follow in some of these videos, I do all of this for my family as well as myself. But I want my family to have access to good hunting grounds as they grow up. Or, you know, you can bury your head in the sand right now and say everything in this country is just fine. But from what I'm seeing, it's not just fine. And who knows what rights, and whether it be gun rights or hunting rights or anything in the near future that they could take away from us. So I've kind of diversified my, it's kind of like, you ever heard that saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket? Well, that's what I've done here. I have my base camp, which is the rustic log cabin. And this place is about 3.5 hours away, 4 hours away from that base camp. So it's on the other side of the state. We're in Western Maine here. And what that does for me is it gives me hunting grounds in a totally different area. So if the state does something crazy, black flies are out today. If the state does something crazy in one area, my thought is I'll have a different area. Or if something happens to the game in one area, I will have a different area, as well as my family will also. So it's kind of like that old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, that's what I've got in mind here, is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Because we have bear hunting, we have deer hunting, there's fish in the stream, as well as the beavers are in the stream. What fish are in the stream is pike, bass, smallmouth bass, not largemouth, and everything along them lines. There is a few trout here and there, nothing major. Shiners, suckers, the whole 9 yards. So that's why I'm calling this place the grocery store. Because with that stream, I can bring down some traps. I can trap my live bait for ice fishing. I can trap suckers for ice fishing. I can trap eels. There's eels out here as well. So it just runs the gamut between what's in the water for food and what's on the land for food. I've seen turkeys, I've seen rabbits. Again, I haven't seen any moose or deer, but their sign is absolutely everywhere. So I'm really not too concerned about that. But what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to spin you around and show you the site that I have chosen to build this outpost. Like I said, the only way in here, maybe I didn't say it in this video, but I have said it in the other ones, the only way in here is by four-wheeler or snowmobile. And I chose it that way because I wanted something that was way back in. Most hunters today, if they get 20 feet off the hot top, they're petrified. So I figure by being in here, I'll be left alone. And there's a couple other things that play in here as well. There's hunting around this piece of woods where other hunters will hunt. This is the center of it. I'm in wetlands, and this is kind of the very center of those wetlands. So any people that hunt on the outskirts of this, whether it be a mile from here or 2 miles from here, and disturb the deer are going to move to where it's quiet in November. They always do. This is back in the back 40, let's say. So as they hunt the outskirts on the dirt roads and hot top or back of their houses, the deer will get pushed back into these little spots. And that's kind of what I am playing on. I've shot many deer that way over the years, just getting back into the swamp, either by boat or canoe or whatever, to get ahead of the deer hunters, and then they kind of do the work, and I kind of reap the reward. I need another coffee. So pour yourself a cup of coffee, and I want to say welcome to Beaver Creek Deer Hunting Camp. Now, if you're new to the channel, that's what this channel is all about. Deer hunting, fishing, the whole 9 yards. But when you see the title come up, Beaver Creek Deer Hunting Camp, we're going to build this camp, and I'm going to videotape it as much as I can. You know, you got to remember, this is work to me. It's not a weekend warrior type setup. I need to get this going. I need to get it done. And then I need to get on to placing some tree stands, especially my bear stand. I hope to have a bear site set up before bear season this fall, which is in, let's see, September. So I got a lot on the table this year that I want to get going. So, but I'm gonna try to videotape this as it goes. And the reason I'm going to do that is we're on our 4th year now of this channel. I've had a lot of comments about land, where to buy land, how to buy land, different stuff like that. I'm just lightly gonna brush on some of that stuff, how I came about this deal of bartering for a piece of property. And it's not an unheard of thing in this state if you're in the right place at the right time and manage to talk to the right people. It's not $1 million piece of property. It is hunting lands. It's the only way in here is by 4-wheeler and snowmobile, and that's kind of what you're looking for if you want good quality hunting land. So as we go along, this building that I'm going to build, it is 8 feet by 12 feet. I am going to complete it for under $1,000. So on this piece of property, I will have a boat that I traded. The boat was worth $3,000 and the property was worth $3,000. So we swapped even. So the boat I've had for 20 years. So I kind of look at it as I'm moving on one thing that I don't need anymore for something that I can use. But once I get this little cabin built, I won't have that much in this place. I'm not going to do anything to it except for place tree stands, stuff like that. There's no yard work. There's none of, only thing I need in here is a turnaround for the six-wheeler and a snowmobile in the wintertime. So it's just going to come in, make a big circle, and then go right back out to the snowmobile trail. So that's the plan for in here. So if you want to follow along, like I was saying, if you're new to the channel, this might be a really good opportunity for you to watch from start to end. There's going to be a couple more weeks before this video goes out because I'm still waiting on paperwork and stuff like that, signing off of paperwork before I launch any of these videos. And we're going to go from there. So, but I think it will be fun. I think you'll enjoy it. Like I said, the building's not going to be anything too special, but I am building it out of rough sawn hemlock. It's a material that I have used for 30 years building buildings. It will be green hemlock, freshly cut this summer. It's being cut as we speak right now as I'm doing this video. I hope that it'll be sitting in my driveway by June 1st. What I am doing next week is I am going salmon fishing and lake trout fishing. So I'm in here this week tying up a few loose ends as far as getting ready for cement pads, stuff like that, and finalizing where this thing is going to go. I am going to set it on 4 round cement pads, and on top of that I am going to cut down 2 spruce trees, 12 feet long, about 8 inches across, maybe 10, and I'm going to use those for my timbers, and then I'm going to start building right on top of that. On top of the round cement pad, I will put a couple of cinder blocks so that everything will be setting on 2 concrete cinder blocks, then my hemlock beam, and then I'll start building the building. This is such a awesome site where I am setting. You'll see when I spin the camera around, I can see that way 100 yards. I can see that way 100 yards. I can see that way about 75 yards, and I'll be able to see that way about 100 yards. I am really toying with putting a tree stand on top of the building once it's built. Just because of the visibility that this little cabin is going to have. And you know, you pull in here and be quiet, who knows what could happen right off the roof of the cabin. So I am toying with that idea because that would put me up in the air about 12 feet, give or take, 12 to 14 feet with an awfully good bird's eye view of what goes on around here. So that's my plan, and we're gonna get going with this. You like this stuff? Throw me a bone, hit the subscribe button, and make sure to hit the notification button because I don't want you to miss any of these videos as I'm putting this building together. I think you'll be impressed with how fast it goes and how inexpensive it is to have a small hunting camp located in Western Maine or Northern Maine. And so I'm welcoming you to this series, Beaver Creek Deer Camp. So I will see you in the next video.